to like a lot of like I know you do too now, Adam, but like like the ambient noise.
Yeah.
Like
I do as well.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
That's great. You know what I've been really into? I've been really into, and Alex, you'll appreciate this, and Autumn, you will as well, because we're all video gamesters. I've been really interested in listening to the Dead Space, the video game.
God.
Autumn, it's this horror video game.
Yeah.
And that's what you listen to just for fun?
Right, because it's so Alex, it's not the soundtrack. It is the like ambient, like the ship, right?
Yeah.
And you just hear,
okay. Okay.
Like you just hear things walking, and then you hear this like because you're going through space.
That I can get into.
It's within the context of this horror video game, and I listen to it while I work because it makes me anxious, and I work.
And you keep going. That's
like
I have mixed thoughts about that.
Well, what do you listen to, Autumn? Like I know we would share ones like being in the back of the Winchester car of Baby.
Yeah, that one was a good one. Like sleeping in the back of the Winchester car. So you're taking a nap and there's music playing, like the kind of rock I listen to, and then them talking, but it's kind of far away with road noises and sometimes rain. Like that's a good one.
But is that specifically the Winchester car?
Yeah.
I mean,
yes,
it's themed.
Because you got to have Sam and Dean talking and like the kind of music that they would listen to. It's a whole vibe. Okay. So that one, I listen to that like to calm and chill. And then when I'm really getting into the mode of working, listening to the Gryffindor common room with the fire going and people talking in the distance and like it was like crackling fire and it was very
I'm boring. I just listen to rain on car roof. I don't get so fandomly about it, but that's pretty cool.
It's fun.
I might need to look at. You know what I need? I need Skyrim. I need Skyrim. Yeah, I when I used to work out in the field in the dead of winter, I'm out 3 o'clock in the morning doing all this work. I put my headphones in. It's snowing, and I would just listen to this music from Skyrim, and I'm like, yeah, I'm in Skyrim, and like there's a dragon somewhere, but I'm just going to change out this power supply, battery pack.
I love it. That's amazing, actually. If you're going to be out in the field, that's a cool way to do it.
Your coworkers are like,
yeah.
What the hell is that? Is that dude an NPC?
This is him out in the field. Like, there's a dragon. I have a question. Anybody in the audience? Also, hello, everybody out in the audience. Did you guys? There we go. Liz says, "Lord of the Rings score for you." Okay.
Ooh, nice.
By the way, this is for Liza. By the way, hold on. The reveal of Alex's new prescription.
I got the new prescription too. I got them yesterday.
This is my first prescription. These are my first glasses. I've never.
That's amazing. It looks like they're blue light blockers too.
Yeah, I'm a nerd now.
Yeah. Anti-glare.
Loser.
Anti-glare. Look at you guys. Actually, we kind of match a lot.
Autumn, there's a lot of glare coming off both of your glasses, so you both.
But you know what? Mine is, and I got the anti-glare, and I also got. I noticed. The last ones that I had, you'd see like a big white reflection from the lights, and now it's a little dialed down. This is fascinating programming that we have provided for everyone.
Anyways.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into Fandom Social. We've got a pop culture news and roundup show for you. This is a relaxed fit, loosey-goosey, Levi, 517 type jean. We're just hanging out today.
Fandom Social. Unable to enhance on the reflection of our glasses now.
Just print the damn picture, Farvo. But yeah, this is, I was thinking, Autumn, too, like my other idea for Broken would be how I would end it with this entire show. Our entire bit that we just did would explode a young Victorian child. They wouldn't understand anything we said.
No, they would not.
Think about it. They would be like, oh, working in a field. I know that. I've been doing that for 10 years.
I know that one.
I'm 9.
Also, there's comments on our outfits. That, let's see, where did the sign? It looks like, everyone looks so cozy. Warm sweaters and flannel. And now it's cozy social tonight. Cozy social. Yeah.
Thank you.
Cozy social.
I have to excuse myself for a moment. My dog has been locked out of the office and is in a panic. So Spike must be, I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, Alex, welcome. It's good to see you, man.
Thank you.
How have things been? Other than getting new glasses, what's new?
You know what, man? These new glasses are very difficult. I'm actually kind of sad for like 2 straight weeks. Like I went on a cruise, and like the second I got back, like there were packages, and like every day for like 2 straight weeks, I was like it was just like a package. There was just a package.
Oh, it's
And then
Christmas. Yeah.
it was like Christmas every day, Christmas and birthday, like all wrapped together. And then yesterday, like there was no package, and I just felt so distraught. But then today there was package. By the way, I got the talk to me hand from the movie.
Oh, I'm so mad. I wanted it so bad.
Let me grab it. I'll bring it.
Go get it. Yes.
Also, in the meantime, Laura says Laura's cozy with TARDIS blanket, and I also am cozy right here. I have a blankie. It's very, very soft.
On the inside.
Yeah. Dang it! I messed up the focus. Now it's not going to come back.
It's almost like it's your job.
Almost.
Well, hello everyone. Laura, Lisa, JJ, Jin, Pete. Saw Tenchi up there, Anthony, Amy.
Amy's got.
So we've got an interesting show today. All of this news had come out specifically. We try to scour the internet for the. How you doing over there, Autumn? You doing all right?
Really bad. I'm gonna see if I can reset. I'll be right back.
Yeah, got it. So there's a lot of news. If you are an MCU fan, not only did we just get a movie, but I also feel like in the wake of that film, there was a ton of news that had come out, Alex. And I know, there you go.
Yeah.
That's it. There's a ton of news that came out about, different properties, casting news, as well as directing projects. And that's what we're going to get into tonight. So before we do all that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, the notification. I assume most of you have, but comment, hit the like button for all of you here. It really does help us.
Amy, you're fine. There was no homework. You can just hang out. You're good to go. Yeah.
This is just news.
And so before we do, we get into that, again, thank you guys so much for being here. Happy Thursday. And we do want to announce the holiday weekend. No show next week. We're all going to take a break and work. I mean, we all have.
I'm going to be eating next week.
Yeah.
This time. Nom, nom, nom.
I'm just going to eat in front of my mic.
Yeah. No, we don't do ASMR here. We don't. We hate it here.
I hate it.
We hate it. I hate it.
Listen, I know the Fandom Social was supposed to be positive, but for everyone who's a fan of AMSR, whatever it is, I judge you. Whatever it is, I judge you harshly.
Okay. I will say, Alex, I hate it, but there's one channel I found that one of my kids introduced me to, and it's a cooking one. No one's taught. It's just them cooking without any talking, and you hear like the chopping and the stirring and the that I liked. It helped me fall asleep. It was really cozy. I liked it. It was
not this.
No, I hate that stuff. But like and they had the microphones like on the cutting board and out, so you really heard like the chopping and it was a whole soundscape, and it's very comforting of like somebody cooking. It was good.
Do it, Laura.
Absolutely did. Yes.
But so sick. Let me in. God. I'm torn, Alex. Now we're just gonna take over the show about all the movies we watch. I'm torn between that and When Evil Lurks, between my favorite horror movies.
Oh, I had to stop When Evil Lurks. All right, but let's go back.
Anyways, so this is a superhero MCU special version of pop culture news because there is not only tons of things happening within just pop culture superhero-dom, but specifically with Marvel. And I mean, we're going to kind of get into a lot of it because I know a majority of us either are still, we'll say, in the MCU fandom or at some point. So with that, I'm going to read the first headline here.
Okay.
And this is
a big headline.
I think this is pretty indicative of where we are. This is a really good jumping off point for everyone. The Marvel struggled at the box office on opening weekend. The Marvels finished number 1 at the box office, of course, but it only grossed $47 million, and that was of Sunday. So that's not.
How can they even keep the lights on with $47 million? So sad. That's all they made.
Well, we joke, but it cost them $80 million.
Oh,
yeah.
And so it's like 70 million, 70. It was like 65 million to make, roughly 15 million for the marketing. which I felt was high. Autumn, we both look
Yeah.
at budgets constantly, and I'm like, where did that money go?
Yeah.
Because I'm
I
curious.
didn't see that much.
Exactly. So I'm curious if anyone saw any activations out there. Activations being things like, for anyone who doesn't know, these are big projects that are like at a subway station, and there's a Flurkin statue or something. That would be considered an activation. So I don't know if any of us
nothing
saw
in New York.
Did anyone?
Can we talk about the best activations I've seen are the building videos where it looks 3D, where something's looks like something's coming out of the building.
I worked on one of those.
So cool. I love all of them except the one you worked on. I hated that one.
They're so cool, but man, are they a pain in the ass.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine.
There's my one. I used it right. So it's pretty interesting. But according to data from ComScore, whose entire life is to monitor projections and current stats for films, it is the lowest performing Marvel movie in the history of the MCU. And previously, it was held by the first Incredible Hulk from 2008.
That was my question. Like, worse than Incredible Hulk?
It was worse than Incredible Hulk, which debuted.
That's why it's
$5 million. A couple other notes here. It's after seeing this, studios tend to have the ability to project out what they're going to make. They were under the assumption they were going to make $90 million on this, and they made 45 or so million. This is domestically, of course. Globally, it tends to skew a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it does and it doesn't, because the money. So if they put $100 million into this, a lot of times, from what I read, like how it works is when it comes to globally, like Marvel doesn't necessarily put the bill for the UK budget all the time. Like that's not how it goes. So globally, it's important. It's a pretty stat, but it doesn't necessarily prevent them from losing money. So where that leads us into for all of you guys, because we had some questions we wanted to queue up, is with there only being there's only one Marvel movie next year. That's it.
Ooh, that's it?
It's Deadpool 3.
Okay.
It was originally 5. They put 2 as TBD, which I can't think of off the top. Daredevil. No, that's a show. It was another film I can't think of off the top of my head. But now it's only Deadpool 3, which is like a multiversal tie-in to everything. But there is also, we are getting Echo, which they have just switched into like an R-rated movie. Echo.
It's a movie now?
It's a show. So 1 movie and 3 shows for Marvel next year, tentatively.
Okay.
Echo, Agatha, the Agatha show is still slated to come out, and then an untied in property, which is X-Men 92, which is just like a fun passion project for Feige. That's the only
thing. Is it animated? This is how out of it I am. It's revamping the animated series from the 90s. That's what it's doing.
Exactly.
I have a question. I had heard there was some rumor that there's potentially a Dazzler movie. Is that not true?
Well, not like a Dazzler movie, and great way to want to shoehorn in Taylor Swift to this conversation.
What are you talking about?
That was expert level. I think she was supposed to be in
the thing that I had heard that, and that what the rumor was, I thought was delightful, was that she's playing Taylor Swift, who is Dazzler. She's not Taylor Swift. She's not being an actor playing a role. She's playing the role of herself. And the story in this storyline is that Taylor Swift is Dazzler. So she's playing herself as Dazzler. But then I'd also heard that wasn't happening because they were talking about making an actual Dazzler movie, in which case she wouldn't be, involved in that.
Can I leave the stream?
Come on, that would be amazing. It's so funny. It would be so funny.
Yeah, that's
like it would explain a lot.
We're getting to the levels of Big Lebowski where it's like, how does this tie into Vietnam War? How did you get Taylor Swift?
I think if she were actually a secret superhero, it'd explain a lot of things, is all I'm saying.
I'm about to use my swear word to tie in Big Lebowski to Autumn, aka Donnie up here.
Okay.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not treating Autumn like Donnie. Saving it.
I put this big, grand spanning question in our document, but like I wrote, and this is like the maybe the thesis of our entire show here, but like, is this officially where we're starting to see like the wheels are not coming off, but like the wheels are off. Like the car is in the repair shop, and you can continue the car analogy. I'm not going to do it, but
sports something.
There you go. Because
that's my question. Like, is it too much? Okay, go ahead. You go ahead and finish your question.
Well, yeah, because the end of the Marvel legacy. So what I'm not getting at, or what I should say is, I'm not saying that's it. Marvel's done. It's not. Yeah. Marvel's going to go until there's literally no more pennies to be made. But I think we are officially at the point where the idea of Marvel supremacy is no longer viable.
Right. That I think Marvel, my opinion is that Marvel is just going to be a part of the pop culture lexicon. It's just a given. There's always going to be a Marvel, but it'll no longer be a moment. It's no longer going to be iconic. It's just there. And it's kind of like Star Wars was for quite a while, like during the time of Clone Wars animated series and Rebels. They weren't iconic moments. They weren't these big milestone moments. It was like this content was just going out on a regular basis, and it was just there. And I think that's a good and bad thing. I think it's a good thing in that it frees up creators to not have to continue to one up and top and go bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. They can just tell stories, and all stories won't be for everyone. There's going to be, just like with the comics, the stories are there, and the people who identify with certain storylines and certain characters, and they can go and follow those and enjoy them, and others will watch others. So it's not going to be all things to all people. It's going to be just a universe of content that I think will, if it goes that way, I think it's a good thing. Just let storytellers tell stories.
Okay. And Alex, I'm curious for you to get into it, because you've been, I think, of us on the panel here. Oh, hey, Daniel, you can come on if you want. I just noticed they're here. Say hi. Produce the show and do something. Jeez.
Yeah. And fix my camera while you're at
it. We have no assets. Alex has been crying.
Yeah, I sent all these pictures and no one listens to me. Well, for me, that I'm Captain Negative with a lot of stuff, but I mean, I also like to, it's funny because when I, with things that I don't like, to people who will trash it, I'll defend it to them just because, I'm consistently argumentative. I can agree with you, but still just I'll shoot you down. But they went so big. The lead up to, even though Endgame's not even my favorite, Infinity War is my favorite. To me, that's the pinnacle. After that, it's just the villains undoing Thanos' great work. But Endgame, the stakes have never been higher than Endgame for me, and I feel like after that they should have taken a break. And if you think about Star Wars, right? Think about Star Wars, right? You had 3, then there was a whole bunch of books and everything, and the comic books, and everyone was all the really geeky people, they're eating it up, and I'm not trying not to make my noise that I know Paul hates, but they're eating it all up. But there was no major content for decades. Then boom, huge event. Huge. Yeah. Just tremendously out of control. Star Wars comes back with a bang. And then after that, little tastes. And yeah, like you said, the Clone Wars, which was great, and then Rebels, but that was all still more low key.
It was just chill. Yeah.
It was just chill. And then they came back. And however you feel about the prequel trilogy, the sequel trilogy, or even the original trilogy.
Yeah.
I'll throw it all away for Rogue One. They need a break. They need a break after something so big.
Yeah, you can't stay up with that. And let's go to the comments because there's some interesting perspectives here. Laura says, I mean, did we really think Marvel would be at the top of the game forever? They had a 22 movie run. That was way more good than bad. That's remarkable. I mean, do we even want it to is the expectation realistic to keep it at that level? And then even if they did keep it at that level, is that even enjoyable anymore? Because it's just, and Felix said, just a little piece for everyone. If we just if they'll finance, if it's making enough money to just keep going, then I'm all for it. Dwayne says they have lost a lot of the casual fans who only know the main Avengers. They don't know or care about the more fringe characters. Yep, that's true. And
but I could also disagree a little bit with that because there's a lot of people who are very Marvel oriented, but are not like into like the crazy comics and stuff, but they still like want every little piece of MCU, that universe content. So I mean, maybe there's like a potential for it, but like I know people who are just super cash, bro. They're like totally cash, but they were like, oh, I went to go see the Marvels movie because I want to see it because it's fun and I want to have a good time. And they're like, and I'm like, yeah, cool, enjoy. There was more people at what was the name of that movie that I just saw that was terrible? It's a Wonderful Knife. It was so much worse. I thought it was going to be just like, I'm going to go to this movie that's so stupid, but it'll be funny because it's stupid. Nah, they did not even deliver on that. But anyways, I went to that movie that had been out for like a week, and that's opening night of Captain Marvel, and there were more people in my showing of that than Captain Marvel. I'm like, I think it's just burnout, man. Like I really think that's what it is.
Yeah, and I think a big part of it is that Marvel. Or I shouldn't say Marvel, the MCU and its fans still take themselves so seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I think that is the biggest issue with the MCU fandom specifically, because we are a fandom-oriented show that is live every Thursday except next Thursday.
Way to tie it back, man.
Whenever you can. I'm getting good at this.
Plug away. Yeah.
Thanks for doing something,
nice.
Daniel.
Thanks for joining us.
I know. I feel like at some point, obviously, it's going to go away. The next question I had posed too is like, are we at like MC? Is it like the most grinding comment that I've heard, and it just annoys me, is people are like, we're not at superhero. This is how they all sound to me. We're not at superhero fatigue. We're at bad movie fatigue. It's like, shut up. You don't know, because bad movies are being made all the time, and you're going to see them. This is like an event in an echo chamber that people live in.
Creative.
Well, JJ
I blame
Joe
you, heavy spoilers.
Brings up streaming services. JJ Joe says, I do have to wonder if people don't go to the movies because it'll hit streaming services in 3 to 4 months. Right. This is me. Now that's where we were before like the Avengers, like the whole Endgame, leading up to Endgame, when movies became an event again, because movie ticket sales had gone down a lot and most people were waiting for movies to just hit streaming services. But then certain films like Star Wars and Marvel movies made events out of their movies because they were so big, such big stories that people wanted the community experience of it, or they wanted the big screen experience of it. And I think we may have gone past that point. Like, I think people are perfect. I want to see Marvels, but I'm honestly perfectly willing to wait. I'm not in a rush. And I love a group screening experience. I love watching it in a community of fans, but I don't mind if I don't see that one with fans. I don't mind just waiting.
Ironically, it was the first movie it was the first Marvel movie ever in the 15 years. I mean, Daniel knows. Daniel's seen a lot of these with me.
Oh, yeah. Midnight screening.
At midnight screenings, it was the first time ever that I didn't see it during opening weekend. So they didn't get my my buck in their projections. So and also I was at this theater. I was in an AMC. Granted, it was a Monday night. It was like an 8:30 showing. I was the only person in the theater.
Really?
I have video of it because it was so eerie, as people, all of us and everyone here who have operated our fandom within this engine of like, I can't wait for the next one. Like, I think I've been out since probably before WandaVision. Like, I still don't think WandaVision was that great. Like, I'll die on that hill alone. Like, I was just I was like,
you're not alone, Paul. I'm sorry.
Elizabeth Olsen was fantastic, but the show wasn't good.
I have to say, the episodes until the episode, I will agree with you that once the episodes pulled back out of the format of every single episode being another era, the next era of film. Once they pulled out of that and you saw what was actually happening, I do think it went down. But I think those first string of 4 or 5 episodes were groundbreaking and fascinating and amazing and really captivating. And then once they pulled out of that and you saw what was happening, I agree. It was a little bit like, okay, it was kind of forgettable.
Once they tied it into the MCU, it just became Magic Fingers Party. Like, that's all it was. It was just like, whose fingers move the fastest? 88 Fingers Louie, right?
you can see the wheels turning with Marvel because all of these events that are happening in cinema, which it was one of the best years ever for cinema, was not. It was I was just gonna bring it up. It was Barbie. Yeah. So Tenchi Misaki says it's telling that the three biggest movie moments of 2023 were not Marvel movies at all. Barbie, Oppenheimer, and Super Mario Brothers. And that's 100% true. Like, if you look at within the culture, something like, oh geez, what's it called? The Killer Sloth movie that came out. You know what I'm talking about?
Killer Sloth movie?
Slaughterhouse, which is a
Slaughterhouse.
It's like this cheesy sloth puppet that kills like sorority girls, but like the movie knew what it was. I feel like it got more praise than so many more of these Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Because Marvel movies are no longer like, they no longer, I feel like, know what they are anymore. They're like, we got to just like pump this out again and we got to make $1 billion.
It's just
Felix speaks to that. Yeah, Felix speaks to that. He says, but Marvel and DC are just pumping stuff out too fast. Look at the Watchmen series, The Boys, Gen V, or Invincible. All of these don't suffer the same fatigue. Thank you, Felix.
Yeah. I've read that before, and the one thing I will say that The Boys, Gen V, and Invincible have going for it is the people who are on the fringe of this movement, of the MCU movement, gravitate towards those shows because they are in direct opposition to the MCU. So if you already don't like the Marvels or you don't like DC, you're like, I'm going to go to this thing that's making fun of them and it's content like for me, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
It's the antique,
But so my question is going to lead us into our next news headline, which is a massive headline, which is like, what is, if there would be one? I have this, not like a hot take, but it's a projection. JJ Joe, I know you save everything. Save this, because I feel like we will never get another $1 billion Marvel movie until Secret Wars. Like,
do you think even then? Do you think that will still bring it?
I think if anything were to even get close, it would be Secret Wars. So my question is there anything, and I'm talking just content-wise, not from a marketing standpoint, that they could do to get us to that Endgame Infinity War level of excitement? They just announced something that I think put a little bit of pep in the step of the fandom. Which is our next news headline, which is Pedro Pascal is in talks to lead the Fantastic Four as Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic. He has not confirmed the role. He has not come out and said, I'm officially doing this, but sources close to him have said that he is just figuring out like the timing of everything, like his schedule. Is this, so the question to all of you is like, is this enough? Like, does anyone even care?
Thanks, JJ.
Thank you, JJ. What about you, Alex? Let's start with you.
Okay, so I do love him as a
Fandom daddy.
Yeah, like I don't like the daddy thing. It creeps me out because that's a kink. That's a kink I never wanted. Like whatever. But
it's so beyond that now. It's just part of the it, guys. Like,
yeah. But I do enjoy him. I do enjoy his work. Mostly like Narcos and obviously the Mandalorian. He was just like, I'm gonna say like 3 words, like really cool. It's like really not like groundbreaking there, but like I do like his work, but I don't know if that's gonna do it for me because I could picture him physically. I see it right now. I'm just like, man, he's got to be just like totally like the most boring, awful, most boring person in the world to pull this off. And I'm like, man, I just get too into him. I'm like so into like I'm so interested in everything he does because of it as an actor. I'm like, it's gonna be wasteful to make him the most boring smart person because we all have to admit, Reed Richards in the comics, he is so boring. He's just so incredibly boring. Oh,
I don't know where you are, but like where are you with like one? I mean, I know you're kind of just running the show too on the back end, but where are you with like the MCU? Is this enough for you? Like, do you like Pedro Pascal enough for you to be like, oh, okay, now I'm excited for Fantastic Four? Daniel?
Sorry.
There you go. I was like,
bit of a lag there.
To you.
No, listen. I love Pedro Pascal, but I feel like we're kind of seeing him everywhere now, and it's like, when is too much too much? But I don't know. I feel like Alex made a good point where I don't want to see him boring. I want to see him. I don't know. It's something more lively. I don't know. I feel like they maybe could have used him elsewhere within the MCU. I don't think this is the perfect casting, but I will go see it. I am excited for it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean he's interesting. He is everywhere. And then, what about you, Autumn? I don't. Are you watching a lot of the stuff he's doing? Like, I know you didn't watch.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Did you watch Last of Us?
What was the one with Nicolas Cage? The name is so.
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Oh my God, I loved him in that. He was.
Amazing.
That's the one that made me like absolutely love him, like become a huge fan. I liked him, Mandalorian fine, but like let's be real, you're not seeing him in Mandalorian a lot, So what made me actually think this guy is great and I'm a huge fan and I'll watch anything was whatever that one was called. But no, I don't. He's great, but it's not enough to make me like super hyped to see the Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four to me is like Marvels. It's like, okay, sure, I'll see that. But I'm not like, it's not a big event. I won't remember what day it's coming out. It'll be like, oh, sure, when it comes out, when I remember it, I'll go watch it.
May 16th, 2025. So I don't know if that's true. Which is interesting because I know, Alex, I know you may be closer to the comics, as close to the comics as I've been, or within relatively.
It's been a while, yeah.
But the Fantastic Four is up there with like Spider-Man. Like that is like a pillar franchise for them that they have, they've held close to the chest because Fox and the Sony merger and everything. But like for it to get leaked like this, and it's more into like our first news point. Like it's very telling. Amy Scott says so much MCU casting is spot on, in my opinion. I thought it was great, but I don't think he's perfect for it. I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a life raft.
But JJ also says years from now we'll be saying I cannot see anyone else playing him if he does do it.
People say that sometimes, but like I can definitely go to my
JJ Joe, I'm going to save your comment and file that away that we're going to be like, man, he probably should have been anyone.
And I'm going to save a video clip of you saying that you're saving the comment. Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like we always have that feeling that like we could never see anyone else playing this person, but I'm like,
what about Iron Man? What about Tony Stark? Could you imagine anybody else? Like just cast him somebody else.
Pedro Pascal.
Okay, Captain America, Pedro Pascal.
Who's to say? Hulk. There's so many. Honestly, there's so many people that I would rather have cast.
Anyone in a big sweater and a cardigan. Like,
so is that your pitch for you?
Yeah. By the way, I have never liked Mark Ruffalo in the role. Like never.
Oh,
same.
You know what I mean? Like Ed Norton for me was great.
Yeah.
Eric Bana for me was like what? Edward
Norton's the only actor blacklisted from the MCU, by the way. Fun fact.
What about Thor? Could you cast someone else Thor?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not a Hemsworth, is it even Thor?
That's the thing is who was Hemsworth before you made him Thor, right?
Yeah.
He was George Kirk for 5 minutes in a Star Trek movie. So you know what? If you give me 20 minutes, I could probably go online and be like, oh, here's a hot, giant, blonde actor with muscles. Here you go. He's fine. You know what I mean?
Tenchi says
all he does is Thor movies. So I mean,
Tenchi says, honestly, I think a lot of people want John Krasinski back to do Fantastic.
Yeah, I do. I loved him in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
And I hated that movie, but he was perfect because he dropped in. He was boring for 30 seconds. Even has everyone seen this movie? Can I spoil things because it's been
it's like a year and a half old.
It's been a bit,
Even his death, he was boring. Like his death was brutal and violent. He was like, "Oh, I'm dying." He was so perfect. He was so boring. I was like, Krasinski nailed it with the I'm dead. Like amazing.
I may be on the outs here. I didn't like him. I don't like him as like Mr. Fantastic. I'm
Really?
like, I think he's too likable.
Ooh, Laura didn't like him either. See,
Yeah.
Laura's with you.
I
Laura
didn't
says I
like
really didn't like Krasinski.
You think?
Yeah.
You think he's?
I think that his face is very likable, which is why like someone like
Let's make him Jack Black. Let's have Jack Black be him.
Oh my god!
Just go nuts.
Just let Marvel do it now. You know what?
Yeah.
He is Sue Storm.
Like make it when Robin Williams was the genie, where the whole character is around the actor. You know what I mean? So like let Jack Black just do what he does, and that's now the character.
Jack Black as Ben Grimm. You know, I mean, he's a Jewish guy. He's a Jewish actor. He's a big boy, and he can crack a lot of jokes. What a revolting development!
I don't like the way they used him in Star Wars, so let's try again with Marvel.
Star Wars?
Yeah, he was in. It was terrible. In what's it called? Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, it was such a cheesy, like stunt casting-y feel with Lizzo. Like it was just
him and Lizzo.
It was so out of place and weird. They didn't belong there. So like, let's try again with Marvel. Let's go.
After that scene, I was like, man, that was so stupid. I hope they don't come back to the scene. And then they go down to the basement or whatever, and Christopher Lloyd's there. I didn't even listen to what Christopher Lloyd said. I was like, is this just a cameo? There's too many cameos. Episode
cameo fest.
Skip.
Yeah.
Call me
it was very stunty. It was like very special episode.
It's like in She-Hulk, which I did get through, and it's like, Meg the Stallion? What's Meg the Stallion doing here?
Can we just talk about Meg the Stallion's real quick? Meg the Stallion as Greta the Gremlin from Gremlins 2. So hot. Oh my god, that was her Halloween costume. Oh,
I was like, Gremlins? How old is she?
Oh, she's old.
Jack Black as Grimm could be fun. Yeah.
Someone said Willie Lumpkin. That's a good idea too.
Pete says, Jack Black is Willie Lumpkin. The rest of the show is casting Jack Black in the Marvel universe. Let's go.
Yeah, hit us with your best fan cast.
Yeah.
He was great. And I think he should be Iron Man, actually.
Yeah.
Okay,
JJ asked.
Like Baymax.
All around him. He won't be like Baymax. JJ Joe said, is there a Marvel superhero that has not yet had a TV show or movie that could reinvigorate the franchise?
I mean, it would have to, you're talking like never. I don't know.
Do you feel like they've tapped all the minds that they can?
They tapped all the big things, except for the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, right? Which have been tackled in film before, but they have not tackled them here, you know?
Yeah, I feel like...
Here we go. Lisa says, Jack Black as Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah.
Foggy Nelson, John says,
I don't know.
You know, who could we possibly cast as Groot? I don't know. Let's pay some actor
Jack Black.
An exorbitant amount of money to. Sorry, don't get me on the.
Wembley. He's a new French like basketball player, and he's like 7'9".
Yeah. Ooh.
He just like takes the ball and just like puts it in the net. I'm like, that's rude, dude.
Yeah.
But like it's why I didn't like John Krasinski, because I feel like he's too like, hey, how you do? Like he feels like a hug, and I think he's too recognizable as someone who's like a kind guy. That's why I've always wanted Glenn Howard, who is
walking for Groot.
I am Groot. I am Groot.
I think I was doing more like Andrew Dice Clay. I was like, oh.
He could absolutely pull so much more out of those 3 words than any other actor alive, I think.
Like, I know he's got 3 lines, but he is eating. So for Reed Richards, I've always liked Glenn Howerton, who plays Dennis in
Always Sunny.
Always Sunny. Yeah, Always Sunny. He was just in Blackberry, which he was incredible in. But the thing about Reed Richards, for anyone who's like read the comics, is like he is the most brilliant man in the universe. Like he doesn't smile. Like he's like a family man, but he's a super big dick. Like he's such a jerk. He's the worst. And I think like John Krasinski does not pull that off. Like at all. I don't think, like Pedro Pascal can maybe get there because he's played some dark roles.
Okay, well JJ says you should watch him in Jack Ryan. I have not seen that. Have you?
He's good in it.
Yeah,
that's
you
what
still want to hug him.
buff
With a
hair.
gun,
Yeah, like I just don't. It's his problem. Like that. What a great problem to have. Be like, you look so nice that like I could never see you as a bad person. And
I'm just more interested who's playing Doom. And
Jack
everyone
Black.
keeps talking about. Everyone keeps putting like Giancarlo Esposito, and like everyone puts Giancarlo Esposito. And sorry for butchering the name, but like bad guy role, like the big villain role. And I'm like, they even want to, they were even talks about him being Magneto and all these things. And I'm like you can't put him in every bad guy role. Maybe
he can't always be the most iconic, serious bad guy. Yeah.
Because guess what? Then I stop caring about him too. Then I don't want to see him in anything.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm more interested who's Doom. Dennis
he basically was the same character in Breaking Bad as he was in Mandalorian. Like he's fantastic, but he was the same exact same energy.
My favorite thing was the memes of him getting blown up. And then what's his name? I can't remember his name from Breaking Bad with the bell.
Yes. That was great.
I can't do this.
There's memes of him like Giancarlo getting blown up in the Mandalorian, and like he's there like ding 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 ding. But because it's the same character, Glenn Howerton as Dr. Doom. I mean, seriously, Glenn Howerton as Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
Okay, Felix says, where to go? Felix says, don't be typecasting poor Giancarlo as great as he is. Yeah, I think I'd like to see him something totally different because I think he's a fantastic actor. Let's mix it up. Reed does not. Dwayne says, and Paul disagrees, Reed isn't a bad person. He's just an emotionless jerk, basically a Vulcan. Okay. And Paul?
He's not a bad person because he doesn't go out like murdering people, I guess.
Yeah.
But is he a good person? He'll sit there and
other people.
Yeah, he'll sit there and he'll try to do the best job he can of solving a problem, but that doesn't involve any emotion. So it's like, these like 200,000 people might die and this planet's going to crash into the other. But as long as I can get this thing out of it, it's like this, sorry.
Speaking of Vulcan, maybe Zachary Quinto, guy who played Spock in the Star Trek reboot.
Zachary Quinto.
Where's he been?
Yeah.
I know him best as the guy in American Horror Story. I know he's done a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell's Zachary Quinto been doing?
All right, JJ Joe, enough with the Josh Brolin, too. Let's stop recycling all the same people.
No, just recycle them. But yeah, again, it brings us back to I think Marvel is doing this with Pedro Pascal as like a crutch when they're like, we need something right now.
Yeah, we need star power, and they wouldn't need it if they had the audience.
Exactly. And I just can't believe that it's something that Pedro Pascal has agreed to. I guess he's just collecting the Infinity Gauntlet of IPs.
Yeah.
But it feels like a weird role for him. But also I'm like, if Marvel's like, we're gonna give you $100 million to do this, be like, yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
I'll be Dazzler.
I'll put me in whatever Titan role.
Yep. I'll get my skates. Let's go.
Yeah, so I don't know. So it's interesting. We'll see what comes out of it. Some other MCU headlines because we are running short on time. I don't know why I thought we honestly would get through these headlines too quick.
You always think we're not going to have enough content. We never shut up. We can never even get through it all.
That's why we
want to jump to the next thing, though. I don't want to wait too long. I want to get to that next thing.
Yeah. So first, some quick MCU headlines that you guys may have heard of. Daniel Destin Cretton, who was scheduled to do the Kang Dynasty, has left, as well as Taika Waititi has also said he's not going to be on the next Thor, which I'm like, fine.
Okay,
cool.
Yeah, we saw your story. You're set.
It's just interesting to see some of these these folks again leaving. And then we also got a new What If trailer for season 2.
Yeah.
Did you watch? Everyone here watch the first season?
Yeah.
Yes.
At least some of it of the first season.
I thought you said the trailer. I did not watch the trailer, but I did watch all of the first season.
Okay. Yeah, it was cool, and I think that came out at a time when people were still like, "Oh, okay." I'm pretty stoked about this, and I also think
plus it tied in, it did tie in.
Yeah,
it tied in enough. I just think now we're so far past it was like with Game of Thrones season 8 when you're like, we're so far past the books now. What are they going to tie in?
Yeah,
if you haven't seen Loki. I don't want to spoil Loki because it's relatively new, but the idea of the multiverse has changed, and the multiverse is like the biggest pillar by which the what if stands on. I'm like, are they even like talking to each other? Like, I mean, it's just an interesting time. And again, I do recommend for everyone out there. It's called MCU by Joanna Robinson. It's a new book out there, and it really like peels back a lot of layers.
It's making Paul actually read words on a page that doesn't have.
I read a lot of books. I
just
don't always know what they are.
The word.
So, I'm not convinced I know how to read. I've just memorized a lot of letters. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's just further proof that no one knows what they're doing, and sometimes you just get lucky. So that should be the byline of the MCU saga. But we do have our show. Yeah. No. But leaving the MCU, there was a new trailer. And the reason I brought this up is not because I'm so excited to talk about this, but it is this thing that is happening. We got a new trailer for Madam Web, which is a movie that had come out. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it.
It is a movie.
No, I haven't been stopped. No.
Yesterday, and I pinged you twice. But I
oh, I felt that one.
Oh, cold. Yeah, I just want to circle back.
Yeah, we're gonna table it again.
There may be a reason why you're smiling, and it's because you haven't watched that trailer. And I don't want
I'm going to continue to take it down the road. Actually,
I just also, by the way, I want to put it out there that I went and I screen recorded the trailer, and I took a bunch of screenshots, and then I went online and got a bunch of comic book panel screenshots, and I put it all together, and I sent it in an email to hello@Fandom Social, because I wanted one of you guys to put it and bring it on screen so we could talk about different things. But no one listens to me.
You act like we actually check that email on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Daniel, what have you been doing?
Research.
Tons of research.
Pass the buck there, Autumn. Nice job.
I like that. Like
we're going to reallocate R&R for that one.
Wow, you did a great job.
Let's talk about the trailer, because I was interested in talking about this because when I was growing up, Spider-Man was my dude, right? And he's still like my favorite. Spider-Man, Miles Morales is my favorite. They're all the Spider-Verse. This whole idea of the Spider-Man like universe was always like I love the idea of it. But when it came to reading the comics when I was young, the fact that this is what drove me crazy, even when I was younger, is that just these people that were special were no longer special because just everyone and their mother would get the powers. Hulk, the whole big thing with the Hulk is it's, even when they expanded on it years later, the Hulk, he's wow, I can't believe he survived this gamma ray blast. Amazing that this happened. Wow, no one could survive that. He is so special. There's like 60 different Hulks now. They all survived the gamma blast. It's just like everyone just goes out like, oh man, I'm bored. I'm going to get same thing with Spider-Man. Like in universe, in like the main Marvel universe continuity, the comics, like there's just too many characters with spider powers, and they have all these different reasons for it. The reasons why I like the Spider-Verse idea is because it's multiversal. It's all these different spider people saying that it's a universal constant. No matter what universe you're in, there's going to be a spider person. So they're all unique. It's not like me going down the street and there's like 100 other Alex Aronowitzes with this stupid attitude who hates everything. No,
could you imagine
from that universe?
Oh my goodness.
An Alex Aronowitz in every city. You know what I mean? Like, so on to Madam Web.
A bunch of goth Mr. Meeseeks.
What do you want? But the trailer was fascinating, Paul, because things went by fast, and there's one character in there because that really like places things is Ben Parker's in it. Uncle Ben Parker's in it, which he's young and is now it's like confusing. Does this take place in the wider like Sony Spider-Verse, or is this separate? You know what I mean? Because if I see anyone whip out a cell phone, then we're like, all right, this doesn't work because the age is wrong. You know what I mean? So anyways, that was me. Yeah. And May Parker's in it.
I think it takes place in like the early 90s.
Does it?
It's not like a modern movie.
I saw a tweet that was pointing out like some of the wardrobe choices looked a little like more vintage than modern. Plus, you don't see a cell phone. You don't really see anything that would like place it within time. So it could be, prior to the Sony Spider-Verse.
Because I believe it would have to, because if you watch the trailer, it's like it's all about time travel. So they bring in what's his name, Ezekiel, which he's just Autumn. You should read this. This character is amazing. He's a guy with spider powers, and he just walks around barefoot with his like chest hairs out and wears a suit, and just like that's his Spider-Man outfit. He just walks around. He's
like he sounds terrible.
He's so creepy to look at. I just do not like him at all.
He makes his own hemp shirts or something. Yeah, sounds terrible.
He's in it, Spider Erwan.
And but he's in this movie. He's the main character in this movie, and it is doing this like it looks like it's doing this jump back forth in time thing. Because like Daniel, you said like with like the clothing, like you see that the characters. And Paul, you were loading up the pictures. I'm trying to give you a lot of time to maybe.
I got them. Can you see them?
Sweet. I can't because I don't have producer access. But
yeah,
so
right.
Just to break down, if you want to just bring up any one of them.
All right. Here we go. I'll bring up.
All right. Cool. That was a good flash.
There we go.
So this is one of the Spider Women. I feel like she came out in like the 70s or the 80s, and like I remember her, but I can't remember her name. But if you go to her comic book version to the movie version, do you see that one? They did like it's the one where she looks like she's upside down. Nope, not that one. But that's another one. I forget her name. That's Maddie.
Sorry, I may have downloaded these all a little too fast.
You may have. But that's a different Spider character. So she is she's another one, and it looks like he's older in this thing, and so it looks like it's jumping back and forth in time. So I'm wondering if because he's younger, he gets older, they're younger, they get older, all these spider powers. I wonder if they're just going to tie this all in, because there's Ben Parker and May Parker, like all of the Spider-Man people are in this movie. So are these now characters? Yeah, this is the girl from what was it, Euphoria?
Euphoria. She's in the new movie with Glenn something.
So I mean, you see how comics accurate they tried to make her outfit.
Yeah.
But now, are they going to now introduce all these Spider characters in the next Spider-Man movie? Are they all going to be hanging out together in the next Spider-Man movie? Where have they been all these years? How are they going to fit all that continuity? There he is, Autumn. There's the guy. Ugh. Look at this guy. Oh, you can't even see that he's got his bare feet out. He's standing.
Yeah,
he's standing
no, I
know. And that's him. That's him in the costume. That's his other costume. Versus this is his costume in the movie. So it's like you have all these Spider-Man related characters, and oh yeah, there she is again shooting with her energy, Julie. But and there he is, the old man version. So the thing about this is driving me crazy is that Spider-Man once again was special. He's this special, amazing character. That there's Ben Parker. So Adam, he's going to be playing Uncle Ben. That's Uncle Ben right there. And
so all he ever does is play Ben.
Yeah, all he ever does is play Ben. Leslie Knope is going to come out, and she's going to start rapping.
The Knope verse.
But
she's going to say, "I love you." Tenchi says Marvel creating a Spider family of characters was a direct, envious response to the Bat family, and that being the only character they could use to expand out in the same way.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like it really cheapens it a lot. But then again, I actually might watch this one because it's not a Marvel movie, and I just hope Venom's going to show up somewhere, and eat someone's head. I don't know.
I just I was not prepared for Alex to say all that. Because I watched this and I was just like the only thing, and I put it on our notes here. No, I promised I would. Yeah. I was like, I'm not going to bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up because I watched and I was like, I don't understand what Sony has done. Like, they've done The Amazing Spider-Man, they've done stuff, but like they are in such a weird place now where it doesn't make sense what they're doing. Like, they're doing Craven, and it's got Aaron Taylor Johnson, who like was Lemon, right? Not.
I was gonna say Liz Lemon.
Liz Lemon.
Not Liz Lemon. In Bullet Train, but like they have Dakota Johnson, as like a lead. And Dakota Johnson's done some okay things, but I'm like, she hasn't had to lead something.
Yeah.
And I just think, I'm like, I don't know where like this is coming from. It almost feels like everything Sony is doing, they've pitched to the MCU, and they're like, we're not doing that. They're like, okay, well, we're going to do it. And we can't get X, but we can get Dakota Johnson.
Do I think it's because she's like a meme at this point? Like, are they trying to make that the event that, you know, she's going to be in this memeable movie?
I mean, that's possibly
the trailer's already been memed to death.
Yeah.
Has it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I have not seen it.
There's this really awkward line of dialogue where she says something like, yeah, and they were studying spiders in the jungle with my mother. But it's like the way that she says it, and so people have kind of gone with it. I wish we would have all had more time and we would have done our job and prepped and shown some.
I didn't see that meme. Oh my God. Because it is, Paul, it is a very just clumsily shoved, shoehorned into that trailer. They're like, oh yeah, my mom like studied spiders. Like,
right.
Cool story, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, like
that whole segment there was like unnecessary. Ben Parker saying like, welcome back to the land of the living or something.
Yeah, we were talking
I had to
about
pause
that.
it so I could roll my eyes.
Like, oh yeah, because you didn't want to miss anything. Is that what it was?
I didn't want to miss it. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah. So,
but
it's just, yeah. Sorry.
It's just something, and I think Alex, I think has been a bit ahead of the curve here, but maybe not ahead of the curve, but you just haven't been in on Marvel for a bit. Where it's like it is now obviously its own genre. There's always been superhero movies since we got the first X-Men in 2000 or like 1999 or whatever that was, and even before all these shows and everything. However, it is something that I see kind of going the way of like horror films, where like every once in a while you get Talk to Me or When Evil Lurks, which are these like incredible changing films by directors that are relatively new. But then the rest of them are like,
Dan, did you see?
Okay, that's yeah.
Nice.
You're like, okay, it's Conjuring 7.
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
And
there's no guy on screen. That's got to be bad for our numbers. It's got to be bad for it. So,
but
I don't know. Alex, do you want to talk about your last note that you threw in there?
Oh, this is just a me thing, and I just want to hear everyone that probably hates it. There's a video game coming out that has been pushed back so many times, and it finally got its pre-order today, and it is Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. And it is made by the same people who make the Arkham movies, only this is literally the Brainiac comes to Earth, takes over the Justice League, and possesses all of the human beings and things. So the whole goal of the game is your Harley Quinn, King Shark, Captain Boomerang, which is always funny, and Deadshot.
Yeah,
what? Deadshot. And their whole point of the game is you have to kill the Justice League. That's it. And it's supposed to be so much like the video of it looks so much fun. They're swinging around the city. It's very Spider-Man, Batman flying around the city, just killing the shit out of people. A lot of swearing.
Not just regular killing.
No,
like really, really killing.
It's like
they punch him in the stomach. And they're just stabbing him in the large intestine like over and over again. But yeah, it is. I just wanted to bring that up because I think it's a kind of a big deal because it's been stretched out for 3 years and constantly delayed. Like it was supposed to be released in 2022. It's now going to be released next year, I think, in February, but it'll probably get pushed back again. But the biggest thing about this game is and I always say this when it's sad when an actor dies. It's sadder when the actor dies and their last performance is Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy's final performance as Batman was in Escape.
Oh.
Now, that's like when John Candy's last performance was Wagons East, come on. or was a Canadian Bacon. But it's like I'm more sad for the fact that was his last performance. But
it's like,
I think it could be a really fun game and stupid game. Yeah, that's your final legacy. But I think it can be a fun game. It looks like it's going to be silly and stupid. But yeah, I just thought it was a point because we cover movies, but we never talk about video games. That to me is some video game news.
Very ironic that we never talk video games. Next time there will be like a Maple story shoehorn in there. Like, here, there's like a great update for it.
Raul Julia's M. Bison,
Amazing.
Tenchi Masaki. That was heartbreaking, right? It's like, and he gave, by the way, have you all seen the Street Fighter movie?
Yeah.
Has everyone here seen it? He gives an A+ performance in an F- movie, just like Frank Langella. Frank Langella as Skeletor, A+ performance, F- movie, and there was a Matthew McConaughey movie. Oh God, it was this one where it's like a video game. I don't know. I can't even tell you. He gave such a stellar performance that anytime he was on screen talking, you're like, man, this is amazing. And then you're watching the movie like, this is terrible. But anyway. Kevin Conroy,
when we bring guests onto our show and they're like, man, they were great in that thing. Just get them outside of the
Yeah, exactly.
Dwayne thinks you need your own segment. Very ironic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get into that. Yeah.
Get working on the graphics.
Like rain.
We can get it
rain on a wedding day.
Leave and let Alex just go.
Isn't that ironic?
Isn't it ironic?
That's it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting news.
So that is, I mean, it is. It has been stuck in kind of games forever. It is almost like, the DC they've been less protective with their IP than I think like Marvel's been. They tend to take more chances, but then basically creating their own version of like The Boys, but they're like, we can do it. Let's do it in a video game over here.
Here.
Yeah. So there's some questionable content that's going to be in that video game. And I'm very excited.
Absolutely.
For people, I'm very excited to watch playthroughs of it on YouTube.
I was going to say, I'm going to buy it because there's a multiplayer thing, and I'm going to play that with my friends just so we can see how stupid we can get in the game. But I'm really looking forward to the not screen caps, but like the little like video captures that people are going to put up of like some ridiculous thing that Captain Boomerang says, and I just think it's going to be very amusing.
Well, that is our pop culture news segment. We do have another segment that we like to leave you guys all with because it is a long weekend, and also all next week is a good week for streaming. I feel like I'm going to get a lot of TV done next week because like I'm having like a small Thanksgiving thing. I'm going home for Christmas, so I'm like, I'm just catching up on everything.
Yeah, just sit and watch everything.
So a few things to go through. This is How to Kill Time This Weekend, where we tell you, are you sick and tired of your dumb family? Here are some stuff that's more entertaining than them. So the first thing is the new Hunger Games movie that's out today. It's a ballad, songbirds, and snakes, only in theaters. Where are you guys? Are you guys at Hunger Games?
I'm a big fan of the Hunger Games, yeah. I read all the books and watched all the movies. I really liked them.
I read all the books, watched the movies. Yeah. I'd say I'm a casual fan, but was doing the homework.
Alex?
Okay. Shockingly,
all day. Katniss Everdeen, all day. Peeta Mellark, all these really great names and all this amazing stuff. I mean, it's not a mockingbird, it's not a blue jay, it's a mockingjay. So clever.
Alex loved it.
Imagine 100 of him.
One in
He's one of the challenges in the games. You have to just withstand 100 Alexes.
100 Alexes in a group is called a Reddit thread. A Reddit of Alexes. Okay. Also, we have Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. That's on Netflix. I'm surprised I forgot. Thank you for throwing that on there, Alex. Because I never read the comic, but I've seen the movie now a ton of times. But like this is somewhere it's like a sequel, right?
No, it's basically in between, right?
No, I think it's a whole it's a redo. So it's the entire story, with less stuff left out, essentially, kind of like a redo of it. But the entire cast is back, playing their respective characters. So I'm excited for it.
It's a marriage, Paul. It's a marriage of the comics, like it's telling the full comic story, but then they're bringing the voice actors, like Daniel said, all the same voice, which, by the way, broke my heart because, I mean, obviously the strike is more important to get people fair pay and representation, everything like that.
And all that stuff.
I was very sad that there was a Scott Pilgrim panel and Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Chris Evans and all these Scott Pilgrim people were at New York Comic Con, but they couldn't do anything about it. But I did get to meet them, and that was cool.
Can I go on a quick tangent because you just reminded me? Paul, at LA Comic-Con, which is going to be happening a couple weeks from now, Toby and Dwight are going to be there, and I am so excited. I don't usually do the autograph photo op thing. Very rarely do I ever care about that, but 100% I'm going to stand in line so I can get a picture taken with Toby Flenderson and Dwight Schrute. Yeah, 100%. I will be there.
Have you thought about like what your pose is going to be?
It's all I can think about all day since I found out this morning. I'm really anxious about it, and I don't get anxious.
I just
hope like 5 minutes.
Like I think I makes me want to cosplay as Pam just because, and I don't cosplay at events either. Like when I go to conventions, I don't cosplay, but this makes me want to be Pam.
You got to be careful, by the way, because I had this whole plan for what I wanted to do. And like I couldn't bring any props in, so it just ruined all of my cosplay.
I feel I can wear a suit dress, like a skirt with a blazer and a pastel dress shirt, and I'm good to go.
That's it. Don't have anything. Don't have a thing that says they're the same picture. Nothing like that.
No.
I was really mad about my photo op.
But Tenchi's got it perfect. Tenchi, you got him. Wait.
I was like, these 2 blades that I was going to stab Tom Hiddleston with, and he didn't want to do it.
Tenchi says, go with a giant vat of chili for the photo shoot.
Can you imagine?
I'm sure I can walk that in. Yeah. And then I spill it on them.
Around,
okay. You guys can make fun all you want, but all I was bringing was, because again, the Scott Pilgrim thing, I was bringing in an Amazon.ca box to hold with Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and I had a Captain America shield that I totally destroyed so that I could make it a Lucas Lee skateboarding company, which is Chris Evans' character, just so I could hold that in the picture. But I did get hold on, bragging rights.
Jim's got me.
Tom Hiddleston.
Post him in the group.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, post that.
Yeah,
it says cardigan, white sneakers, shirt. Yeah, I can wear. I got to get white Keds for that.
Yeah,
Keds.
No Converse.
Okay, a couple other things. Next Goal Wins is also out. It's a new Taika Waititi film about the American Samoa soccer team. It's loosely based on a true story. I saw it a couple weeks ago. It's pretty good. It's very like you can almost use it as an adjective now. It's very Taika Waititi.
Okay, and everyone knows what you mean. Like, yep, got it.
But in like in Love and Thunder Taika Waititi, or like
What We Do in the Shadows,
or Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah,
not Jojo Rabbit, unfortunately. That's I think one of his better ones. This is like the better parts of Ragnarok, I'd say.
Okay.
Where there's a lot of like, hey man, like a lot of those.
I haven't seen a lot of it, just a little bit of the trailer, and it's giving me the Gods Must Be Crazy vibes. And I don't know if you've ever seen that, but am I right?
The Coke bottle, that one?
Yeah,
right? Yeah. Similar. It is like Taika Waititi essentially. I mean, you guys can read the premise online, but like the American Samoa team lost by like 31-0. They'd never scored a goal in international soccer. They hire Michael Fassbender's character, who's really having a good year. I think he's like taxes are coming up or something, because he goes away for like 7 years, and then he comes back and he does David Fincher's The Killer, which is incredible. And then he does like Next Goal Wins. I'm like, all right, I guess we won't see him for years again. So so Michael Fassbender's character is a soccer coach from like European soccer. He's played at the highest level. He comes into coach this, like
ragtag.
Yeah, so a very Taika Waititi story.
Okay.
It's good.
It's I'm interested.
Super endearing. It's very play on like the white savior type of story.
Yeah.
Taika Waititi's having fun with that. So that's in theaters as well. It's by Searchlight. And then Thanksgiving is also in theaters. That's a horror movie by Eli Roth, which
on Sunday.
Awesome.
I'm going on Sunday.
Really, really fun. Much better than people are going to expect. It's basically just like this dude's kind of just like, and I
can't wait. I'm going to see it on Sunday. It's got to be better than It's a Wonderful Knife. That was so disappointing.
It's much better. Yeah, it's Eli Roth, who's great. He's done a lot of really fun horror stuff, and he really kind of gets to play in this one. And it's if you're really feeling good about your Thanksgiving vacation, you won't. So
okay. Well, I will not be watching that for any reason.
Yeah, it's pretty violent. So if you like a good gore story.
Okay.
Next is A Murder at the End of the World. That's on Hulu, where it's this. It is a hacker and amateur sleuth, which he's invited to a billionaire. Clive Owen is in it. He's fantastic and everything. She's invited to his party on a remote location. She must put her skills to the test when another guest is found dead. Can she find the killer before another person ends up dead? The 2-episode premiere was on the 14th. So I think that
What's it called?
A Murder at the End of the World.
So it's like Veronica Mars.
Yeah, actually, like Veronica Mars. Like it's like a mixture of like the movie, the After Party. If anyone's been watching that, it's on Apple Plus. It's got like
oh god, I love that show.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that and like a Law and Order episode, but it's a little more serious. It's not like a comedy.
I was gonna say because
it's not funny.
Party is awesome.
Yeah, After Party's great. You would like After Party on a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
a cast of
ridiculous.
Like John Ralphio's in it.
Oh my gosh.
Like just so many actors, and you'd be like, "This is fantastic." Let's see. We've also I put this one in there for you, Daniel. I don't know if you noticed, but the Real Housewives of the Potomac. I just found that we're getting content from the Potomac.
That we're what?
We're getting content from the Potomac.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's a hot season or city. People love Potomac. Hot season.
That's like. It's near Chesapeake Bay. Where is that?
It's season 8.
Jeez, what? I don't know. I just
it's been on for a minute. Where is Potomac?
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
We've also got something that I'm legitimately excited for. I'm not even doing a bit, but it's Hot Potato, Story of the Wiggles.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I loved the Wiggles. I mean, as a mom, having to watch kids programming for years and years, top of the top. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it looks legitimately really good, and they talk about like in their typical Wiggles voice, like how hard it was for them to stay so positive for the kids all the time. And, like, apparently, it's very good. So I'm really excited for that. That is.
Yeah, there was some drama. I remember.
I like documentaries.
Yeah, that is on Prime Video. And then lastly, if anyone else is an old man like myself, The Crown, season 6. So
I'm not done with The Crown season 5. I wanted to give myself some content. So don't spoil what happens.
I'm on like 4, but I'm like howling through
it. Don't spoil what happens in history. But yes.
I just don't care about the royal family. I'm like,
yeah.
But I'm like,
in real life,
these characters.
Yeah, in real life, I don't care at all. But on the show, I'm like, I am in. I am all in. I love it.
But Autumn, Alex, Daniel, anything else you guys are watching that people should be streaming while they've got Turkey Belly this coming week?
No,
nothing much. I just started Reacher.
Daniel,
I just started Reacher on Amazon. It's been pretty good. Yeah.
I've been watching lessons. Sorry, I thought it went silent, and I thought you were done, and then suddenly my sound came back. No, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say it features what's his name? Alan Richardson.
Yeah. Thad Castle.
Thad Castle, love him to death.
Also,
yeah, it's really
good. Yeah, he's Hawk.
Yeah,
in Hawk and Dove. Yeah, he's great.
I watched Lessons in Chemistry. I've been watching that. It's got Brie Larson, and she's a chemist. Yeah, it's really good. It's on Apple, I think.
Yeah.
And I saw like a little snippet of it on TikTok. I was like, what is this? And it's really good. She's great. She's great in it.
Autumn, I'd be really curious for you to watch The Marvels after watching that, because I watched the first episode and I'm like,
yeah,
Brie Larson's amazing. Like, why? Like, then you watch her at The Marvels and you're like, he's over it. I mean, rightfully
that's why I was
taking a lot of lumps.
I've liked her in everything except as Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
I haven't been impressed with her in that. Like, I just don't think she had a lot to work with, and I don't think it was all that great. But I've loved her in everything else I've ever seen her do. I think she's a fantastic actress. She was in The Room, right? Yeah.
Yeah. No, she was not The Room.
Oh, room. It's different. Yes, room.
Tommy was like,
"You tear me apart."
"What about you, Alex?"
I don't have any watching recommendations, but for any people who like being absolutely terrified and scared at every second of their life, Alan Wake 2 is freaking
video game.
awesome. It's a 13-year later sequel of a video game. The first one terrified me. I forgot how much it's freaked me out. It's very cerebral horror too, and it's awesome and it's great.
Yeah.
And I just found out they're all from Finland, and I'm gonna go move there and work for that, studio. So
Love it.
I recommend terrifying yourself by playing, or Spider-Man, the second Spider-Man game, Spider-Man 2. It is freaking amazing. It's the first video game I've platinumed and got every single trophy in about 10 years. So Spider-Man 2. So,
all right. Well,
that's it.
Alex, JJ Joe just noticed that it looks like you drank the water of life from Dune with your new glasses, which is pretty sick.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I get the blue eyes. Very cool.
Yeah, nice.
Man.
All
right, everyone. That is to Relax with Show. Remember, we do not have a show next week. The following show will be an Explorathon episode. This weekend, myself or Autumn or one of these jabronis on the show will post what the Explorathon picks are. I think we've had some ideas. We had a lot of fun with the last weekend. Yeah, we'll post it this weekend for you all. But again, thank you all so much for watching. Autumn, Alex, Daniel, thank you guys for taking the time to listen to us yell about the MCU. I'm super busy. But yeah, thank you guys. We appreciate you. Have a fun, happy Thanksgiving. We'll probably hang out in the group. We'll see you guys in there. Like, comment, subscribe with the notification bell, and post your Thanksgiving dinners in Fandom Socialites. I love seeing other people enjoy Thanksgiving and what and all the gross.
And post your ASMR of you chopping and preparing food, but no talking, just cooking.
And go online. Go online and find some really terrible AI photos of what AI makes art of people eating food and how horrifying it is. And
so bad.
And recreate that with your food.
It's so bad with your chicken. So bad. Okay.
Autumn and Alex,
don't do
that. Have a lot of work to do. So get to it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks, which I think that's the 30th. So that is the 30th of November. Thank you guys so much. Have a great holiday. Have a great weekend. Like what you love what you like. And if you see 100 Alexes coming towards you, run the other way.
Yeah,
noise canceling.
You're not ready.